Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for hosting today's hearing. And Mr. Guzman, thank you for being here. You mentioned that you've met with businesses across the country where you've seen, and I quote, a record-breaking small business boom. I can tell you, I just visited all 60 counties in my district in Kansas, and between the cost of gas, groceries, regulation, struggle to find qualified workers, the small businesses that I'm meeting with and hearing from in Kansas are not feeling the same boom that you're talking about. Yes or no, are you familiar with the Biden-Harris administration's fiscal year 2025 budget and revenue proposals regarding eliminating the stepped-up basis?
I'm generally familiar, of course, with tax policy, but again, I'm the SBA administrator, and so that's not my portfolio.
Well, I would just say, as the administrator of the SBA that's overseeing small businesses, eliminating the stepped-up basis would be devastating to our small businesses and family farms across the country. Please describe what the Biden-Harris administration's proposal would do with respect to the longstanding bipartisan provision that this is in the tax code.
Well, I do know that there was a provision to exempt family-owned businesses. As we know, if a second generation, third generation inherits a family business, being able to sustain that cost of the taxes and implications could potentially put them out of business and force them to sell. So that definitely, there was an exception in there for small businesses to defer that tax realization until the business is sold. So I know that of course, for our small businesses, that was good news to be able to see that there was fair treatment towards them, a balanced approach.
The provision you talked about is the essence of the stepped-up basis, the notion that small businesses, farms are exempt from having to pay taxes, and as a result, they get a step-up in their tax basis. I don't believe that it's true that they would be exempted, because that was the essence of the proposal, was doing away with the exemption in the first place.
No, there was, in the Biden-Harris proposal, an exemption for family-owned businesses, not in a deferment, I should say, not an exemption, a deferment to be able to defer that until they realize.
But that deferment is the stepped-up basis, and when the proposal is to do away with the stepped-up basis, you're doing away with the deferment. I can tell you for the fourth year in a row, this administration's budget and revenue proposals have proposed eliminating the stepped-up basis, which would be disastrous for our small businesses, our family farms across Kansas, across the country. The proposal, and it's very clear language that I read in the proposed budget, would impose massive farm and business killing, mark-to-market capital gains taxes on property like family-owned businesses and farmland that's been held for 90 years or more. These are mom-and-pop shops and family farms that have defined the American dream for generations, and we should be promoting and helping them, not changing tax policies to devastate them when they pass the next generation. Do you support this farm and business killing tax that the administration continues to promote, the elimination of the stepped-up basis?
Again, we are not in agreement in terms of what it did, and so I can't give you any of my recommendations on a specific. But again,
are you for the
small
concept?
Business, family-owned were exempt.
Are you for the concept of having a stepped-up basis to be able to pass farmland or small business from one generation to the next with a step up or an increase in the tax basis?
I'm for a balanced tax code that benefits our small businesses more than our large. That's what I'm for.
Code speak for you're not for preserving the stepped up basis, which is why I'm having the conversation, and which is why every year for the last 4 years we've gone to battle with the administration when the budget's released to make sure that we keep the stepped up basis. It's remarkable to me how out of touch it seems like we are when we say we're for small businesses, yet the number one state tax provision that helps them, this administration continues to, year after year, propose doing away with. It just is very duplicitous and makes no sense to me.
And the Biden-Harris had protected family-owned businesses by giving them that deferment until the gain was realized.
It's been protected, and they've had the deferment until the budget came out where they proposed doing away with the stepped-up basis. Mr. Chairman, frustratingly, I'm going to yield back.